Is Eye on the Desert from News Channel 3.
Happy Thursday, everyone. We begin this episode of Eye on the Desert with the iconic comedian and actor John Lovitz. He is performing at the McCallum Theater, and if you haven't seen him live yet, this is your chance.
Well, today on Eye on the Desert, I have the great pleasure of interviewing Mr. John Lovitz, one of the great comedians, and I grew up watching him Saturday Night Live. It was never missed television for me. Thanks for joining me on the program, John.
Yeah, my pleasure. How old were you when you in '85? I was on the show '85 to '90. So
those were my college years. So
yeah,
very memorable for me, and always, and Morgan Fairchild is burned into my brain because of you. You're coming out to the desert. You're going to be here on Saturday, the 13th of September, at the McCallum Theater. Tell me a little bit about the show that you're going to bring into town.
If you ever see me on a talk show, it's more that I'm not really. I mean, I do some impression voices, but it's more about. It's not really. I don't do my characters. It's like if I'm on a talk show and I just talk about what's going on in the world and make fun of everybody and politics and make fun of myself. And also I just talk about what I think is like just a huge, social change going on right now. So as you know, you were probably, I'm maybe 10 years older than you, but everything's changed. To me, it's like in the 60s when the Vietnam War and the Beatles came, and then the hippies, and then there was a generation gap. And I feel like it's happening again. That's what I think is going on. And, there's just giant social changes in them.
I think the social changes.
I don't understand it all because I grew up in a different era, and.
But I think comedians have a tremendous role in helping us kind of navigate these social changes. But it's been, I think, tough for a lot of comedians because now there's this kind of political tightrope that some comedians have to walk. And I don't know if you felt that change.
Well, I think there was, but there is. But now they're saying woke is dead, and so you go, is it? Because, as a comedian, your job is to make fun of everything. I think what happened was you'd be making jokes about stuff, and they would take out the way you said it or the irony or the delivery or whatever. And yeah, you're making fun of it. There's no question. But that's your job. It's kind of like, I don't think this way when I write jokes, but if you look at it, you're like, well, you're kind of poking holes and pointing out the hypocrisy of every.
Absolutely. And, I think
which every person has within themselves.
Well, and as a comedian, you're making a commentary on society today, and you can't help but poke a little fun. And, everybody has a different sense of what might be offensive. And when you try to make comedy totally non-offensive, it stops being funny, I think.
Well, it's impossible because
right.
I knew Jimmy Breslin, host of Saturday Night Live. He was the great columnist from New York. And I ran into him about a year after he hosted. And anyway, he said, am I doing stand-up? And I go, well, I'm worried. What if I was in my 30s at the time. I go, what if I say something and there's like, I'm thinking of my grandmother, I go, I can't, of course your grandmother, you don't talk the way you do with your friends. So out of respect, of course, you just wouldn't, So right. I said, well, what if I say something and there's, two old women in the audience like my grandmother's age, and they get offended. So he said, he goes, if I come to your show, I want to hear what you have to say. I don't want you to change your act because of who's in the audience. And I never forgot that. And I wasn't doing stand-up at the time. But I thought, what do I have to say? And also, that's what the audience is coming to hear. I'm presenting my sense of humor. So that's all you can do. You can't worry about it. And if someone goes, I didn't think that one joke was funny, my answer is, that's fine.
Not every joke is for everybody.
They go, I don't think you're funny. I go, that's okay.